Hello, what's up guys? I'm Kyle from KGR, and today we are going over my Gamecube collection. Now, I've done a video showing off my Gamecube collection probably 3 years ago or so, and a lot has changed over 3 years. In fact, I've gotten some games that are very heavy hitters, some games that are absolutely necessary to be in the Gamecube collection. And if you scroll through the comments and you see some games where like, oh, you need to have this, I probably have them now. And plus, some of you guys have been asking for me to do this video again, so here it is. I'm not going over hardware though. Like, I'm not going to be showing off my GameCube itself. I'm not showing off my Game Boy player. I'm not showing off how many controllers and variants I have and all that jazz. This is just games. So if you want to see hardware stuff, you're going to look to another channel because I don't have too much hardware to collect. I have no room to collect all that hardware, nor the budget to collect all that either. But with all that said, let's get into collection. Now, the first thing that is probably one of the most valuable pieces in my collection is this little thing right here. This is the infamous Game Boy player disc that everyone seems to be paying a lot of money for. I forget what this goes for. $60, $70, somewhere around that area. And all it does is access the Game Boy player itself, which that thing is not as rare as the disc itself. I don't understand why the disc is so rare, but I've had this since I was a kid, since the first day I've gotten my GameCube. And it's still my childhood disc, and I'm very proud to have it because, oh man, the amount of money that people would pay for this thing is ridiculous. Next up is something that I've wanted since I was a very little kid, and I didn't get that until like, what, a year ago? And that is the action replay for the GameCube. I know you can already hear people in the comments, Kyle, you're a dirty, stinky cheater. Well, let me explain why I got this thing recently. Here, my childhood save data for Smash Bros. Melee has been corrupted. So I had to redo everything all over again, which, keep in mind, re-unlocking all the characters and stages, it takes a little bit of time, like maybe a week on a normal person's schedule, like working 40 hours and all that jazz, but that's not considering all the trophies that I have unlocked as well. I've unlocked all the characters and stages again normally, no problem, but I really wanted all those trophies back. So this is where this comes into play. This is how I got that. And on the back of it, it says how it works on the Wii. That is a dirty lie. Here, the Wii actually made a patch to make sure this thing doesn't launch. So you need either a GameCube or a very late Wii with a very old firmware to make sure it can still run this. And also, I used it to unlock all the characters in a certain game because I didn't have the patience and time for that. And we'll get into that because I don't want to spoil what I got because it's one of my newer games that I got. Next up, we got the game Cars. Now, I remember I enjoying the world of Cars, driving around through Route 66 and whatever else that world is, Radiator Springs, if that's what it's called. I haven't watched that movie in years. Point is, I thought it was fun racing through that world, and I remember the second game in particular actually being really fun. The second movie, on the other hand, was awful, and the amount of toy cars that I bought based on this movie, and I guess game too. Ah, man, it was such a good marketing ploy, and they did a good job. They did a very good job. They made millions off that movie. Next up is a game that I loved as a kid, but I'm not sure how to feel about it now. That is, Edd and Nettie: The Misadventures. Now, I played this a lot more than a person should as a child. Like, for a TV show, tie-in, video game, I played this a lot. But I tried playing it again a couple of years ago, and I could not wrap my hands around the controls in this game. Like, it makes no sense. I mean, I could try again. If you want to see me try and play this game again, let me know in the comments. I might stream it. We'll see what happens. But as of right now, this game's rough. I used to love it as a kid. I never beat it. There was only like one secret level that I never finished. I couldn't finish. But other than that, I beat this game for the most part. Next up is a very, very important game in the collection. This is one that I got recently. This is not one that I've had in my original video. And the next batch of games I'm going to tell you about were collected the same way. So let me show off the game first. We got F-Zero GX. Now, the way I got this game was here I was dating a girl 2 years ago. But we didn't work out, so we parted ways. But when we were together, here, her mom, I guess, cleaned, I don't know if it was like like apartment rooms or something. She did some cleaning and cleaned some places out, and whatever they left behind, I guess, is up for grabs. And somebody had a GameCube collection, kinda. They had some good heavy hitters. So they got this. The games that were not in this collection but were also like in that giant group was The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which I gave that back to her after I bought her a Wii and modded it to put all of her favorite games on there. She had Tales of Symphonia, which I gave to one of my best friends, Chris, because he would love it a lot more than I would, and he's more into collecting than I am. I gave my one coworker Metroid Prime 2 because, again, it was part of the batch, and I didn't have the first Prime, and I didn't really care about it, and he had the first Prime, and he was getting back into collecting. There's a copy of Resident Evil 4 as well. I gave that to him. But the rest of the games are still in this batch. I know, like, some of you are probably thinking, why would you get rid of those games? They'd be more loved and cherished in other people's collection than my own. And I'm not going to be selfish and just have them on my shelf and just collect dust. I want other people to enjoy those games. And I didn't sell it to them either because I didn't want to profit off my girlfriend at the time, because that's just not right. I was blessed enough to be given those games for free, and I want to bless other people's lives by giving those games for free as well, you know? Anyway, F-Zero. I haven't played this game yet. I hear it's hard, but I'm excited to play this now. Because now I have ways to play the GameCube one, the Super Nintendo one, and now this. But this one's supposed to be the best one. So I'm really excited to play this. We also got Luigi's Mansion. This game I've had day one with my GameCube. I didn't get the GameCube day one at launch, as you can tell by the Player's Choice banner up there, and I know a lot of you absolutely hate that banner, but this is my childhood copy, and I'm going to stick with it. I remember as a kid, I couldn't beat it when I was very, very young, and I think I got mine, like, what, 2004, maybe? I can't remember. I was in elementary school when I had this, and I finally 100%ed this game, I think, for the first time, like, this year, so I was really happy to do that. But, like, I never got any, like, collectibles for this game. Like, I never got any, like, real merchandise, like action figures, statues. Actually, no, I take that back. I got a statue for Luigi's Mansion 3, but not for this game specifically. I know there's, like, one action figure based off it, and it's awfully expensive now, but, oh well. What can you do? At least I got some Luigi's Mansion merch, you know? Now, like I said, this is actually part of that batch that I got from the ex-girlfriend. And this is also a game that I used the action replay on because I did not have the time and energy and patience to unlock absolutely everything in this game. I want to do the same thing for Mario Kart Wii because I used to have that save file. I don't know what happened to it, but it's gone. And I want to reclaim that. But I have played this a couple of times with my said best friend Chris, and we have an amazing time. We also are very good at doing the whole timing the drift thing and like wagging the analog stick together to get it quick. Like, we won't even be a second into that drift and we already have like that blue fire. At least I think it's like a second. I don't know. We're really fast at it. Well, a lot of people are claiming this to be the best Mario Kart. I mean, personally, Mario Kart 8's my favorite and Mario Kart DS, but I can understand why people love this. But it's just not in my top 2, you know? I can't remember if I had this game. I'm pretty sure I did, but I also got Mario Party 4. Now, this is the Mario Party that I grew up with. This is the one I had as a kid. That game is gone. I had to rebuy it, and I did not like the price that I bought it at. I think, actually, I probably paid like 35 bucks. I didn't pay too much for this. And it's still a fantastic game. This is still my favorite Mario Party. I have it on the DS as well. I got rid of this one specifically because I had the DS version, and that was stupid of me. Kids, don't trade in your games. If you're going to be a collector one day, keep all your stuff. And I almost wanted to get the top 100 for the 3DS, and I'm happy I didn't, but this is still God tier. We also got Pikmin. Now, Pikmin, oh man, this is a cute game that I never beat. I didn't play this game for, you know, the strategy game that it was supposed to be. I played it for the cuteness level. That's what's supposed to get you sucked in. And even my mom absolutely loves the idea of Pikmin. She thinks they're so cute. And then when I got plushes when I was at New York, when I was in the Nintendo store, and when I saw those, I saw like the 3 main color Pikmin from this game and Olimar. I panicked and I bought all of them. There's also a couple other ones from, I believe, Pikmin 3 that I didn't buy because it's not the main 3 from this game, so I didn't care about them all that much. I was so excited though when I saw this. Unfortunately, they didn't have whatever this guy's name is, the main monster that's like, iconic. Yeah, they didn't have him, and I was sad about it. But one day, I'll get him. Maybe one day. Next up, we got Pikmin 2. Now, surprisingly, this is a game that I didn't buy for my collection. My brother, who was more into PlayStation and not Nintendo games, he bought this for God knows what reason. For some reason, he was very excited for this game, and he's never played it since. I got the third one on the Wii U, not the Switch, the Wii U, and I was hoping that he'd play that with me, but he never did. But he got this game, and I kept it because I knew he didn't want this game forever, and I wouldn't let him trade again, because now this game and the first one are worth a good chunk of money, even though the Wii ones are probably the best ones to play, because the motion controls make it so much easier to play. The point is, these are valuable now, and I'm happy that I have it, and it still has the manual and everything. The first one doesn't, but this one does. So, hey, complete in box, baby! Alright, the next game we're looking at is Pokemon Stadium. Now, I don't have XD Gale of Darkness, and the way I got this game originally was here, my friend from, like, when I was really young, like Brett, probably, like, late elementary to middle school friend, and then when we went to high school, we just drifted apart. But here, he gave me the disc by itself, and I'm like, well, I need a case now. So about 3 or 4 years ago, when I was streaming some Pokemon games, here, my viewers would donate, and they helped me get new cases, because this is when I was actually starting to take my collecting a little bit more seriously. So all the games I had loose discs for, I wanted cases for. So I managed to find this not for resale case, so it's not holographic or anything. I think this was actually made for when like games like GameStop or any other store would have just a case to show off me like, hey, look what you can pre-order. This game's coming out soon. You better pre-order. But I never beat this game. But I also didn't have the Game Boy Advance games either to link it up like they're saying to. But it's whatever. I mean, eventually I want XD Gale of Darkness, and eventually I might want to beat this game, but neither are probably going to happen. But you never know what the future holds. Next up is actually my favorite game of all time. As much as I love Crash Bandicoot, there's probably a little Crash statue, I'm not sure if you can see that, but I love Crash, okay? As much as I love Crash, this game is my favorite game of all time, and that is Sonic Adventure DX. I don't know what it is about this game. Like, I had this since I was a kid. I borrowed this from a neighbor for a while, and then I finally bought my own copy with my own money at Toys R Us. Oh, rip Toys R Us. I miss that place. But anyway, I used to love this game with a burning passion. No, I take that back. I still love this game with a burning passion. I play this game at least once or twice a year, and I never, ever get sick of this game. Even playing as Big, I still love this game to death. Mainly because I actually know how to play as Big, and I'm actually good and quick. I can get that section done within an hour. But here's a question of the day. What's your favorite Sonic game? And also, what's your favorite GameCube game? My favorite GameCube game, we'll get there towards the end, because I still want to go over some other games that are really good. Next up, we got Sonic Adventure 2, aka the game where the sound mixing's not the best. Remember I used to love this game? The Chow Garden is the best part of this game. Hands down. And multiplayer was great. But playing single player, I do get sick of this game, sadly. Like, I don't mind the treasure hunting. The mech stages I don't like very much. But I don't know. This game is just... it's fun. It's fun. I'd give this an 8 out of 10. But Sonic Adventure DX is like a 9.5 out of 10 for me. Like, that game is still... and this game's better than this, in my opinion. I love the other one to death. I never get sick of it compared to this. Next up is a classic, because it's full of classics. That is Sonic Mega Collection. Now, I feel like a lot of kids, or at least a lot of 20-year-olds, played Sonic, or at least original Sonic games, this way. This is how I tried to play them. But playing on a GameCube controller freaking sucks. The D-pad's awful, and playing a 2D side-scroller with an analog stick, let's be real, who's doing that? However, as a child, I did play Sonic and Knuckles, like, on genuine hardware. And that was fantastic, and that's how I grew to like Knuckles. But if I'm really gonna play the original Sonic games, including Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and I guess Sonic 3, because modding, I would much rather use my Genesis Classic, or Genesis Mini, whatever you want to call it, because I have a cat. Because I can actually use a legit controller with a good D-pad and big buttons, and it's much more comfortable. I also have Sonic Gems Collection. This guy has Sonic the Fighters, Sonic R, and Sonic CD. Now, I got this game primarily for Sonic CD. So, surprisingly, it's actually not a game I play on here. The game I love the most on this collection is Sonic R, and I am not trying to be ironic when I say that I love that game. It's just one of those games that if you play it as a child and play it so much, you grow to love it. But if you try to play it as an adult, you're gonna freaking hate it. It's just, I sunk so many hours just playing this game, and me and my best friend Chris, we love this game to death. We actually sat down and did a full playthrough of the game, collecting everything in one single live stream. It is so funny. I love it. But I have other ways to play some of these classic games, like I think Sonic the Fighters and Sonic CD, I believe I have on PC. I used to have Sonic CD on PS3, but that account's banned now, and I have another PlayStation now, so it's not on that one anymore. So I'll figure out a way to play it again. We'll figure it out. Next up, we got Sonic Heroes. Now, Sonic Heroes was the first video game I ever bought with my own money, and I was very proud. I was also very upset, because, not that it was a bad game, it's because of the fact that we didn't go to GameStop until very late, and then by the time I got home, I had to go to bed. I'm like, no! I'm playing this game for like an hour at least. I waited so long for this, I'm ready to play it. I was in elementary school when this game came out, so I didn't have the rebellious, anti-authority, punk attitude from like high school. No, I was still a good boy in elementary school. But I still wanted to stand my ground. I wanted to play this game, damn it. Another game that I guess I bought my own money. I'm pretty confident I bought it with my own money. Actually, no, I bought this at Best Buy. Ha ha ha, yeah. That was long before I worked there. Yeah, I got a copy of Sonic Riders. This game, I still love to death. Again, same thing with Sonic R. I sunk a lot of hours into it, and I grew to love it. If I try to play it now, oh, no way. No, I wouldn't give this game a chance. But I sunk so many hours into this, and now I have action figures based on this game. And I've waited many years for action figures based on this game, and I love them to death. Unfortunately, my one Sonic's a little bit busted, so I want to replace that eventually, but they're expensive now, so that's not going to happen. But I love this game so much. The other games, Zero Gravity was okay. The other one, I played that once, and I was never going to play that again. Next up, we got Shadow the Hedgehog. I never completed this game. I mean, I've done multiple storylines, but I never 100%. I never did every story to get the true ending. Because who wants to do that? That's awful. And I remember as a kid, I'm like, oh, Shadow's swearing. Oh, he has a gun. Oh, he's a bad boy. Ooh, I like this game. Now, I'm like, I don't want to play this game. This game's not fun at all. Next up, we got Mario Sunshine. Now, sadly, this is not my childhood copy. I mean, this is still one I had since I was in, like, high school. But, like, my first copy that I bought from Blockbuster when I was a young child was stolen from me. So I had all my games wrapped up in this little pouch, okay? And I left it at my neighbor's house. And because we were playing on his Wii and we were just having a good time, I let him borrow some games, I believe. And then their cousins came over and stole my whole pouch. And then my copy of Mario Sunshine was just gone. And I was very upset about it. Because that was a game that I bought with my own money. So then my friend Nico, which if you've seen my videos from like 5 or 6 years ago, you've seen Nico before. Well, he gave me his copy. Sadly, he and I just don't have time to see each other anymore. And I miss him to death. He was so great. But at least I still have his copy, you know? Next up, we got an absolute classic that a lot of people love, and that is Super Monkey Ball. The speedrunning community for this game is absolutely incredible. Like, I don't even want to attempt to try to do any of that. But I love seeing it though. It's works of art. I know after the first couple of games, it just went downhill from there, so I'm happy to have a classic. I am absolutely no good at this game, so we're not going to watch me play that. Next up, we got Melee! Now, remember that batch of games that I was talking about earlier? A copy of Melee was in that batch as well. And like those other games, I gave that to my friend at work. And my one other coworker was like, you know how much money that game is worth? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm not going to let my friend pay that much. I'm just going to give it to him. He gave me the biggest hug. And this is before Corona time too. So it was completely fine. But yeah, I love this game to death. It's not my favorite GameCube game. Like, it's number 2, definitely. But I definitely have a lot of memories with this game. I mean, obviously, I sunk so many hours into it, getting all those trophies and characters and levels and all that jazz. I was happy to hook my friend up, no lie. And there was the Black Label version too, but this is the version I had since day one. I had this, Luigi's Mansion, and I think the Game Boy player. That was what I got for Christmas that year for the GameCube, and I'm very happy. And then we just got TMNT. Remember I got this at the game stand that I used to work at. This is before I worked there as well. Is it good? I can't remember. I haven't played it since I was a kid. I enjoyed it a little bit as a kid, but now, not really. I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to play this again. And that is my GameCube collection. Yeah, we've gotten some good heavy hitters since what? The first time I made this 3 years ago. Yeah, so far my favorite game of all time is Sonic Adventure. And then Smash Brothers is probably number 2. If I had to pick a third one, crap, I don't know. Wouldn't be Mario Sunshine. Maybe Luigi's Mansion. Actually, no. Let's make Sonic Adventure number 1, Luigi's Mansion number 2, then Melee number 3. Because I have a lot of fond memories of Melee, but I don't play that much anymore. I'm not into the competitive scene for that, so screw that. Like, some of my favorite games of all time are definitely on the GameCube. But let me know in the comments, what are some of your favorite games? But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys to death. And if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. And in the description, there's my social medias. So follow me on there. And I also have TikTok. Follow Kyle's Game Room on TikTok. I don't have that down there yet. But I'm going to have to put that down there eventually. Anyway, thank you for watching. I love you guys to death. And I'll see you on the next one. So peace.